let's go. Well, greetings, imagination connoisseurs. Once again, it is I, your Duke of Dope Discourse, your master of fun and wonder, your viceroy of verisimilitude, and your pharaoh of physical media. And welcome to episode 26 or something, 24, 23, who knows, of Let's Get Physical Media. Does it really matter? It doesn't matter the name of the episode, number of the episode. Well, actually, the shows matter. It matters. But what really matters is I have my co-host here, all the way from Saarbrücken, Deustchland, Mr. Dieter Bastian. Dieter, how are you?
Greetings, imagination connoisseurs. Dieter here. Here I am, rock you like a hurricane, and welcome to the B&B Motel for Let's Get Physical Media. First, I want to apologize for last week's audio issues, but if the Let's Get Physical Media train leaves the station, there is no stopping it. And for Rob and myself, our communication was totally fine. We didn't hear anything problematic. So at first, before we start, is the audio okay in the live chat?
I don't know, Dieter. You sound so good to me. Your buttery.
Is the audio okay?
Your buttery German voice.
Can the train leave the station?
Well, there's a little bit of a lag, so we can't know right away.
But before we start, I wanted to make sure everything is in order this time.
Oh, Omar says it's technically episode 25 since episode 6 never aired.
Yeah, okay.
You know what? I think I'm going to put that up. The mythical episode 6.
Oh.
Yeah.
Emil Johansson says yes. We're good to go.
We're good to go. Did I just see that Vesna Lukic was here?
Vesna's here. Great.
Vesna's here.
Okay.
You know what? I guess
audio. Okay, launch the train. Rob, audio is okay.
All right, Dieter. So you tell me, how was your week? Did you have a good week? How is Germany? Are you opening up in Germany? Can you go where you want to go?
1 week, Rob. In 1 week, it seems like we are opening up restaurants, but still not theaters. So still no F9, Spiral. Still have to wait. Probably around, they're thinking about July opening the theater. So it will be a little bit.
July?
Take a little bit of time. Yeah. We are behind, Rob. We're behind. We're trying, but it's taking a little time.
Bruh.
But I think after next week, restaurants will finally start opening.
I love the way you say restaurants. You got a little French in there.
Rob, don't say that. French, goddamn.
I know. You know what the Spanish told me? When I was in Spain for the first time, it borders France, right? Like you. And the Spanish told me that God made France the greatest, most beautiful country in the world, and then he went and put the French there. That's what the Spanish told me.
Rob, I couldn't agree more.
I love the French.
But no judgment. It's all in good fun, I believe. And I would say,
but I just lost the entire French audience.
Yeah, probably. But
I love the French.
But I hope not.
I just want to say that before I hear screaming, that Elizabeth, the ace, the arbiter of cinematic excellence, and the enchantress of entertainment, is half French. She's half French and half Serbian,
correct.
And I would never want to diminish. Her mother is she's a French woman, a delightful French woman. So let me just say, friends in France, I was just making a joke. I didn't say it. The Spanish said it. So blame Spain. Just want to say that. Blame Spain.
Correct.
So tell me more about what happened this week.
This afternoon, I finally finished For All Mankind, and I hope my eyes have dried up.
Both seasons? Did you watch both seasons?
Yes, but it took a little time for me to get through both seasons. But I'm finished with season 2, and as you recommended it, yes, it was simply awesome. But I still don't know how will they top this final episode in the next season. I don't know. And I have watery eyes, just like when Spock died back in the day, and yeah, I hope they dried up now so that nobody could see.
I mean, what an episode. Those last 2 episodes, it was kind of like the last 2 episodes of season 6 of Game of Thrones. It was some of the most epic TV I've ever seen.
Definitely. And worse for me now to have Apple as a streaming service too.
Uh-oh,
say?
you
And now-
dropped the
and now-
green.
And now I'm totally looking forward to Ted Lasso, of course. Ted Lasso for season 2 on July 23rd, I believe.
I have to say, this week, I jumped into Ted Lasso at Elizabeth's behest. See, Elizabeth, there's all these things that I want to watch. Like, people tell me to watch them, so I've got this list that just stacks up. And then Elizabeth, invariably, I'll walk into our bedroom, and she's in the middle of some show. I'm like, I was going to watch that. We're going to watch. She's like, how am I supposed to know you were going to watch that? I'm like, well, because I don't tell her. She can't read my mind, even though she thinks she can. She can't read my mind. She doesn't know. So, luckily for me, Elizabeth is the kind of woman that'll say, you know what, honey? I'll start again. I'll watch with you. So she does. And we started Ted Lasso again this week. And I have to say, I don't know why. I didn't know anything about Ted Lasso. I didn't know it was about
Me
sports.
neither. I just heard a recommendation from John Campia and so, and I thought, show about a football trainer. No. And then we wait, what? A football trainer becomes a trainer for a soccer team? That got me intrigued then.
Yeah, I didn't know any. That was a lot more than I knew. So there you go.
It was great. So I'm really looking forward to the second season. How far are you in, Ted Lasso?
One episode. I've watched the first episode.
Great.
So, he called his wife. Apparently, it's not going well with her. But other than that, I'm very intrigued to see what happens. And one of the more hotter women, older women, I love the owner of the team. She's great.
She's totally great.
Sexy
and for
as
me,
hell.
it's great. It's a little bit of culture shock, between England and the US.
Oh, yeah.
It's great too.
Yep.
So, as always, previously on Robservations, what happened last week, because finally, Rob, I finally deserved my title as Douchey Douche because of the shenanigans of last week.
What'd you do?
And-
What'd you do?
What did I do, Rob? People know what I did. Okay. Did I have to bring it out?
Why you have to do this again to me? Why?
Just Rob, if this fine piece of fabric gets Emma Bannon and his cohort Dean Mikitich upset, this investment was worth every goddamn nickel.
You know what? You can't take one of the most delightful women that's part of the Post-Geek singularity. You can't besmirch her. I will not stand for it. She gets me physical media. She got Dean Mikitich a PlayStation 5.
Yeah, Dean Mikitich got his PlayStation 5. I know that, Rob. I know that. Unbelievable. So for me, this was worth every cent. Oh, okay. Let's see.
I will not have you trolling Emma Bannon. I will not hear of it. You can troll me.
Trolling at all.
Look, I almost canceled the show because of your shenanigans last week. I almost canceled the show.
I totally forgot, people, before Rob and I went to the show. Rob let me strip naked to see if I wear something underneath it, if I wear a wire. And he had sent me a form that I had to fill out. But in my naivete, I didn't read the fine print because he said to me, show friends time is over, dude. From now on, it's only show business. Another shenanigans like this, and you will never work in this Hollywood town ever again. So I'm on parole for this episode. Okay, so I try to keep myself.
Well, you're on parole for this episode too because you have besmirched Emma Bannon, a core team member of the Post-Geek.
But have you seen
singularity.
what she put up? This crazy MMA video that was so bizarre. The Spider-Man fighting Batman and Robin on the Let's Get Physical Media.
You mean fighting
Facebook
us?
page.
Fighting us? Spider-Man was fighting us.
It was some of the bizarrest thing
I think you're
ever
just
seen.
angry that Emma Bannon has made you Robin to my Batman.
Yeah, because she said in the live chat, let me check, Rob. She said, "Oh, Dieter, you were great in Batman." Okay, so who's trolling who? Okay, but what can you do? Okay, so let me see what was going on in the chat. What's worth nothing, but
Yes.
said awesome outfit. So not everybody was. She would say, "Take me to the disco with
She's
it."
trolling
okay?
me is what she's doing. She's trolling me.
Okay. So that was this. Emma Bannon said Alec Kurtzman would be proud. Yes, he would, Emma. but Rob had the audio shenanigans, so Alex Kurtzman couldn't reach me on the phone. Okay, it was Rob's doing all the way. So, what was going on else? And I told people that I wore the shirt because we want Rob watch Discovery on, so we get this epic rants. But Emma said she would lovely missing out on your rants about Discovery. So,
God
and
love her.
She were looking for the vomit emoji, considering the T-shirt. And Dean Mikitic almost got his eyes burned out by the shirt. But for me, this investment paid off. So my eyes are burning from seeing that shirt, like I said, from Dean Mikitic. Tom Jr. Jackson asked, who is getting the Howard the Duck 4K? I'm not Tom Jr. Jackson.
I'm not either.
I'm not really into the Howard the Duck stuff. Slice Knight said he does the same thing as I showed, to cut off the edges, to put something in. And Emma said the technology was punishing me for the shirt.
Yes, it is. God damn it.
Yeah. So, Mr. Gonzal 09 said, sorry, Dieter, but Drive is bad. No, Mr. Gonzal. Drive is awesome, okay? We can put it aside. Edison Völker said, I want to see Dieter's entire collection. No, you don't, because it's a mess around here, Edison. You don't want to see how it looks behind the scenes. You don't want to see that. And Tim Hens reminded us, or you did say, more quality in foreign trash than Hollywood trash.
That's probably true.
That's probably true. Then we had a little bit talk of Dr. Uwe Boll last week, and Omar94 asked Willow Yang, our student Willow, I've never seen any Uwe Boll movies, have you? And Willow answered, no, I have not. I really don't want to waste my time. Willow, couldn't have you told me that earlier? That I wasted a lot of time watching Uwe Boll movies.
By the way, we need to keep Omar and Willow innocent and pure. As much as Willow Yang has a dirty mind, I want to keep her movie watching and television watching relatively pure.
Yeah.
So no Uwe Boll movies for either one of them. None.
Okay. Dean Mikitic asked if I was burning the shirt, but I told you I will send it to Rob with the next package, so Rob can burn the shirt for all of us. Okay? Then Doc Vader asked, Dieter, you and the Burnettwork should have a show with shirt or theme shirts, so the same shirts. Doc Vader, that's totally easy. Wait, let me just check. Amazon, UK, another Enterprise Discovery shirt, 5x XL, goes to Robert Meyer Burnett. So
5 times XL. I've been on the. I'm losing weight. My man breasts are being reduced. I feel like.
So Doc Vader, as we pride ourselves to deliver customer service, we can wear the shirt both in the future. Okay, no problem there.
Unbelievable.
At the end of the show, Rob, Garen Gillum sent a Chuba's chat that we forgot. It was really at the end. We closed out. And he said Best Buy has a badass Sicario Steelbook coming out.
Really?
This was a super chat just at the last minute that we forgot last week. Because we were ending the show.
That's pretty dope.
And help me, Rob. He calls himself Terrier. Terrier?
Terrier.
And where do I have it? He said, I'm getting that dealer, Tremom, but Terry, you really have to look specifically that the movie is uncut. It's not that out in many countries.
I forgot to get that. I need to get that. What's that movie called again?
It's an older movie, Rob. It's really tough. Rob, I did order it for you from the UK, but I don't know if it will come. It seems like out of print, and the problem was the DVD of the movie had not the right aspect ratio, but I hope the Blu-ray has. The Blu-ray came way later.
Well, if
the version is uncut, the UK, but the aspect ratio could be wrong.
If you didn't disparage the lovely Emma Bannon right here on this show, maybe she could have found it. But no, you don't go to her. You don't ask her, the woman who got me my Flash Gordon box set and got me my Godzilla special edition and is hooking me up with 300 and a Steelbook of Zack Snyder's Justice League. You don't go to her. A woman that has proved her value time and time again to our crazy collectors. No. You have to like make a big thing about it. Just saying.
What can I say? For me, get a little bit of trolling back. It was fine for me. So
okay, all right. I'm just saying. I'm
okay.
Team Bannon. Team Bannon right now.
Yeah, I know that, Rob. I know that. Tim Hans asked who has gone into a movie totally blind, not knowing anything about it. That's actually, if I can do it, my most liked way to go into movies, like Rob was watching. A Good Woman is Hard to Find without knowing anything. But you watched the trailer, but the trailer didn't give anything really specific away.
I have to say that I think we watched that in 2020, maybe, or early. A Good Woman is Hard to Find. That was a cat in the bag for me. That was a cat in the bag, and you sent it. You sent it to me, sight unseen, and Elizabeth and I did it for Liz Views. Boy, did I love that film. You know, I felt the same way. I think I said this. I felt like when I watched Jeremy Saulnier's first film, Blue Ruin. Yeah. Same kind of movie where I watched Blue Ruin. I'm like, I bought the disc. I'm like, I have nothing. I've heard. It's one of those movies where you hear like in the zeitgeist reviews from film festivals, and then it sits in your brain like, oh yeah, that's that movie that I want to see. And then of course you finally see it, and it's great.
Yeah.
So good.
For me, it's just, perhaps. Just an example, Revenge. I love my rape and revenge movies, but I didn't know how the movie would be playing out or something like that. Just like you heard about the rumbles from festivals. Yeah. So it immediately gets put into the shopping basket.
Yeah.
And then a user, not sondern he's called, I don't know how many N and M's. He asked the picture of me at the bottom of the Xevious graphic reminds him of Star Trek 4, the voyage home of the punk rocker.
Wait, hang on. What Dieter's talking about is Xevious's graphic, part of the opening. By the way, shout out to Xevious for creating incredible art. I mean, this picture of you, I will never forget. I think that this picture of you that's in the bottom left corner now should be on your tombstone. Not that you're going to die soon.
Okay.
But Valor Margulis.
Okay. Then Captain Benzino said, Dieter's love of all action films is one of the great things about the show. Yes, Captain, it is, like it says here, action. Okay. Then he said, Dieter should stream a village playthrough. Captain, no. I'm an old dude. I'm very slow considering playing games. You would be bored out of your mind.
I don't know. I could stream it through this channel.
Watching me playing a video game, you would be bored. If you have insomnia, it could help.
Is there co-op mode? Can I play with you?
No, unfortunately not, Rob.
That's too bad. We could stream that shit over Twitch, and the young people would love us.
Yeah,
the doddering old men trying to get through the new Resident Evil game.
What we could do, perhaps Resident Evil 5. You can do Resident Evil 5 in a co-op mode. That would be possible.
By the way, I just want to point out what Terrier sends in a super chat and says, "I dedicate this super chat to Emma Bannon and her jokes."
And a joke. Oh, okay.
And her jokes. I mean, even at first, I resisted her jokes. But I have to say, you can't deny.
The wall has come crashing down.
I would call them, instead of witticisms, they're Bannonisms. Her jokes it's kind of like an old folksy, like some old dude, like sitting on a rocking chair, smoking his pipe, like a Mark Twain dude. He would tell those jokes. But now Emma Bannon has turned them around and made them hers and comes from the UK, and perhaps... maybe some people are going to find her jokes funny.
And considering the UK, just from the top of my head, Rob, the situation with Amazon UK is slightly getting better. I could do a little bit more pre-orders than I was used to. So at the moment, it slightly is getting better. That's a good thing, finally.
Well, I you know what? I don't know. Second Sight keeps putting up things that I really want to order. They've got a lot of cool stuff coming out in the next couple months. And I wasn't able to get Dawn of the Dead directly from them.
No.
You know, and I'm hoping now because they've got some really good stuff. As by the way, you know how I know? Because Emma Bannon is looking out for me.
Yeah.
She tells me that stuff's coming out that I'm like, oh my God, really? Didn't know.
Perhaps it's just that, Rob, that I got pissed that she pushed me as a dealer for the UK out. It's not me anymore that gets you the fine UK stuff. Okay?
You couldn't wield your German magic anymore. You know, you couldn't acquire things, and she had to step in. You know why? No. Stay calm and buy Rob Blu-rays or 4Ks. That's what Emma Bannon does. Because you.
On the other hand, it's better for my bank account. It's better.
There you go. That's right.
And Dean Mikitich asked, of course, little snarky, why not for the PS5? Let me tell you something, Mr. Mikitich. If a title comes out on both platforms, it will always be bought for the green system. Okay?
Why?
PlayStation 5 only. I'm really an Xbox guy, Rob, since the first one. I had the PlayStations, always two. But if a game comes out for both systems, I like the green one. Just more, I have the Elite controller for it, but so I just dedicate the PS5 to the great exclusive titles that Sony has. But considering both systems, I go with Xbox. Okay, Mr. Mikitich, just to make that clear. Okay, and then Rob, I got a letter via WhatsApp from our good friend David Kokel. He said to me, he is not pronounced Kukol. He said to me, it's Kokel. So I hope, David, I do this one right now.
Wow, David, so it's Kokel. So I've been saying his name wrong. I've been massacring his name.
But come on, David. Why is the U in your name then? Makes no sense.
Okay, David, you know, it took me a year to figure out how to pronounce Mikitich.
Yeah.
So now David Kokel. It's David Kokel.
Rob, why can't people have easy names like Dieter Bastian, Robert Meyer Burnett? Okay.
Emma Bannon.
It's easy. Emma Bannon. Okay. And David asks, hi, Rob and Dieter. Here's a question that addresses a physical part of media that isn't mentioned much in your show. Which is more important, the size of your screen or the resolution of a movie, HD or 4K? For me personally, David, if you would give me a choice, a 65-inch Full HD or a 55-inch 4K, I would go with the 65-inch Full HD. Just from my perspective.
Hey, when it comes to screens, I'm a size queen. You know, the bigger the better. The tighter the sweater, the more the guys will stare. That's correct. You want a bigger screen, always bigger. It just feels better when you watch it.
Yeah. So the resolution for us comes actually second. So the resolution comes second.
Look, I want to make up for my other shortcomings with the size of my screen. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Rob, I'm through with previously on Robservations.
All right, now that we've given everyone their due, you wanted to change it up a bit. You wanted to go with special editions right away.
Because last week we were not short on time. Our episode was as long as always, but we had 2 weeks to get through, so we hadn't time to show special editions. So I would just thought we switched up this week and show special editions first. And then after we go, what was our haul this week, into letters or something like that. Rob, how much special editions do you have to show?
Well, I don't actually have a special edition, but I do want to show a gift that was sent to me. Oh. I should show it on my later show, but why not show it now? Because I have it, and I haven't opened it yet. And I figured I would show it.
I have two, Rob. You have one. Then I would start. So
why don't you start then? Show us, Dieter.
Okay. Since we were into video games with Resident Evil, I thought this week to put up 2 video game special editions. And the first one is a little bit older. It's The Last of Us.
What the hell? Look at that. What is that? The survival?
for the PS3. I totally forgot, Rob, that the game came out for the PS3 because there was this remastered edition for the PS4. So I almost forget that the movie came out actually for the PS3. Let's just see what is in it. In it, you have a Steelbook.
Wow.
For the game.
Wow, that's pretty dope, dude.
So two main characters. The inside is, I believe, just a little bit of the wasteland. Okay.
Wow.
So you've got the steel inside, a little Naughty Dog, shiny willow.
That's very shiny.
Little sticker, and then Rob, you got this huge, what you like art book.
Wow, dude, that's dope. Look at that.
And you have really great pictures in it for the game, the character designs for the game.
That's amazing.
So it's really, and I love these art books for video games. It just shows how many work hours are probably are getting into games. And Rob, did you play the first one?
Yes. Yeah, I have it. Okay. I have it for PlayStation 3 as well. That's why I played it on PlayStation 3. But I don't have that version.
I totally forgot that it was for the PS3.
Oh yeah.
So that shows how old the great game actually is. So this is the art book for it, but this is not all what's in the package. Let me just check. Where is it? There is a little bit of a comic too in it.
Wow, Dark Horse.
The other character where you get the download later. You could
yeah.
So it has a comic in it too. The Last of Us Survival Edition for the PS3, Rob. From back in the day. Your turn, my friend.
Okay, well, so this is like, first of all, I just want to say that you have been very generous buying all these discs for me and sending them over. I have not been generous to you. I'm still collecting them here. I've got you a package. And Dave Parker said last night we're going to meet soon, and he's going to sign your Hills Run Red. But I have to say that for the very first time in my life, somebody else bought me a Hot Toys figure. And not just any Hot Toys figure, a die-cast Iron Man Hot Toys figure, which I have not taken out of the box. It's right here. The Mark 47. So from Spider-Man Homecoming. I wanted this. They reissued it, so I'm going to open it on this channel right now. I'm opening this up. And Elizabeth's she's like, why do you need more Iron Men? And I try and tell her, you know what, babe? You can never have too many. And especially the die-cast Iron Man figures. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open this on this show. Now, first of all, look at this box. I mean, this box is very arousing. To touch this box means you get an erection. I mean, look at this. I just feel it. Oh, my God. I mean, and then look at the styrofoam in the back. Look at that. So, oh yes, it is. It is so die-cast. So, as you might know, here's what the die-cast Iron Man box looks like. For those of you who've never had a Hot Toy figure, so let's pop this open. So what you do is, hang on, I might have to put this down. It's hard to sort of, yeah, there we go. So then it pops off like this. And, dude, so here's how, I just dropped a piece of it, but that's okay. Part of a helmet place, it's on the ground. So here's what a Hot Toys figure looks like when it comes in the box. Now, this is, of course, I mean, Oh, look, everything's falling off of him. But this is amazing. You've got to take off the... So here it is. I cannot tell you. Look at how great the engineering on this is. Unbelievable. This thing is heavy. It's a big boy. These are, by the way, I've maintained these are the single greatest action figure toys that have ever been made. These Hot Toys die-cast Iron Men. So, my God, I mean, this is amazing. Now, it does come with look at this, a Tony Stark head sculpt. Look at that. And this is a great Tony Stark head sculpt. And it has different things, like it also comes with this piece where you can put, here's a separate helmet if you want to display it this way, because he steps out of this suit. And, wow, and of course, a slew of hands. But this bad boy is very heavy. And, of course, it lights up. I just opened it now. You saw me open it now. So, as heel versus babyface bought this for me for my birthday. And I want to say thank you to him. So there is... Yeah, well, yes, but they reissued it. And so, which was great. So this was a reissue. I have to look, but it was this. This fell down. So I will put it in and figure out where this goes. So I won't do it now. So that's my special edition. It came in the mail. I couldn't believe it. I feel very privileged that I have people in Europe, such as yourself and Az, that enable me to have such wonderful toys and physical media. So thank you all. Thank you all. So Dieter, take it away.
Okay, let me check my watch. Only a mere hours ago, there was this other show, Midnight Metal, where
never heard of it.
Scrotums get shaved, women get pleasured, aliens get fucked, cocaine flows, talk is cheap.
God, that sounds like the best show ever on YouTube.
Then there's, of course, the midlife crisis coming up. Sorrows arise. Another round of heavy booze is drowning that. And then there's a Kickstarter campaign coming up. What do I know?
Raise Hellathon.
The Raise Hellathon. But you came here for the metal editions to see. Rob has perhaps the greatest one, the Rambo Steelbox. But I have one grade 2, which is a video game also. And this is for Metro Exodus.
Wow.
So you have the great slip as a great outer shell. Then you have this metal outer shell for it. And inside, of course, there's a steelbook. So it's double metal. And not only that, it has a train on it. Perhaps Saxon's Princess of the Night.
Wow, that's really cool, dude.
So it can't get any more metal. And, like we all like it, it's printed on the inside too. So it's got the outer boxing. Then you have here, I believe, it's a map or poster that you can hold out. Came with great swag about it. Then there was this character essay, I believe, was in it, or a little bit for the game. And in that cool outer steel where the steelbook was in, there is what I like, just as with Last of Us, an art book.
Wow, that is a really great special edition, I have to say.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it doesn't get any more metal than here. The other show is perhaps Observations on steroids, but here you will see real metal editions. Okay.
Yeah, this show doesn't have cocaine and $6 million crowdfunding campaigns.
No.
So
Let's
but we
see.
could. I mean, we could.
Yeah, and I would probably say, like the old Bulgarian female bartender, no, you can't do that with German pessimism. But then Rob, Dave, and Brett says, just as Americans, yes, we can.
Yes, we can, and that's what we're going to do. Yes,
Great.
The answer is, have you paid your dues, son? Yes, the check is in the mail. That's right. Look at my weird dry flyaway here on the hair. I don't know. I got to cut my hair off, just so you know. I'm tired of it. Well,
this was the Metro Exodus.
That's a pretty great special edition. Pretty great.
Yeah.
So Dieter,
well, bring out we have 2 video games and 1 hot toy, so a little bit different than our usual Blu-ray stuff.
I mean, I would say hot toys are like physical media,
Yeah, of course.
By the way, I do want to say that I'm going to start. They have sent me my last 6 editions, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, and 86.
But and the press?
No. For the James Bond Aston Martin DB5. So this week on Wednesday, all of the pieces for my 1/8 scale DB5 that I've been buying for the last 2.5 years will have arrived. So I'm going to have hopefully a new place to stream from, and I'm going to build it. I'm going to do a build. I'm going to build it online. That will also be something that it'll be fun to do. Yeah.
Should we delve into letters?
Why not?
Okay.
Well, wait a minute. Why don't we break it up? Because we haven't even shown. Let's get physical media. Why don't we start and show what we bought? Let's do half of what we bought this week, and then do letters, and then the other half.
Yeah, totally. So who starts, Rob?
You start.
Let me just say, Rob, you asked me what was happening last week, and I did watch some movies. Let's get them out of the way first. So, Rob, I watched this one.
Dude, I mean, that's not even available in 4K in this country.
It don't need to be, Rob. So for me, it's 1.5 out of 10, Rob.
Oh,
and I wasn't even angry at the movie. Some movies are just baffling. It boggles the mind how they get put together or something like this. And I thought, Rob, that Frank would save the movie, but Frank Grillo is even less in the movie than Bruce.
No,
strangely enough. Yes, and they were fighting in some kind of forest, so it didn't really have any alien invasion feeling or different planet feeling. And there was a strange scene in some factory where one was talking to a kid, and the kid was clearly not, I would say, acting in some way. The kid was just having fun, and the scene made no sense to be in the movie at all. So this one, Rob, it really boggles the mind, I would say. And considering this movie, I would say 80% of Dr. Uwe Boll's movie are more entertaining than.
Oh my God, that talking about that's 1.5 out of 10.
And I really saved the Angry Joe review for Cosmic Sin after I've seen it, but it's hilarious and makes total fun. The next one I watched yesterday. You asked. Now my memory comes back. You asked, Dieter, are there too much bad movies these days? What is happening? And I think, Rob, we are a little bit to blame ourselves, considering when you see something on Netflix like Thunder Force. Okay, we know how the movie was reviewed, but everyone was watching it. Let's face it. It was #1 trending a week. You couldn't go without any reviews where it wasn't Thunder Force, Jeremy Jahns, Thunder Force here, Thunder Force there. So probably sometimes, even if it's in the hot new Netflix top 10, perhaps not watch it. just say, and I rather watch something like Rob Growl. It smells your fear, and it was a really fine movie for me. No CGI dog. The dog is getting some rabies, and then he's on the prowl, and she is defined to a wheelchair. So you have that great setting. The only problem is, since she is in the wheelchair, as soon as a situation is dissolved, the movie comes almost again to complete hold at that point,
Right.
But it's really, like you would say, from the verisimilitude point, really good. You have no CGI dog. The dog is real, so
That's
it's a
good.
Spanish movie. And considering you are trying to raise money for your movie project, this movie I don't believe did cost over 2 million. I don't know. It's a Spanish movie, but it's confined to one location. The house, the house got renovated from her father to be more friendly to a wheelchair situation. And was a nice movie. Not great, but really nice. And
Well,
I rather would watch Growl than Thunder Force.
Well,
just seeing people.
If it comes from Spain, I think everything good comes from Spain, including jokes about French people. Just saying.
Correct. So, Rob, let's dive into it. Who starts?
You start. You're already going. You're on a roll, man.
I'm on a roll. Let's go. Spiral is in the theaters, but I have, of course, had to get the Saw, the 4K from Lee Vanell, James Wan. Always great. And Rob, what is actually your take on the whole Saw franchise as a whole?
Okay, I think that Saw 1, 2, and 3. Hold on. Perhaps I should maybe put myself on camera. You're on camera now, but I think that Saw 1, 2, and 3 is one of the great unsung trilogies in movie history. I'm a huge fan of the Saw franchise, and Saw 6 is quite good as well. So, but I think Saw 1, 2, and 3 hang together really, really well. I was actually, believe it or not, I was on set for the making of Saw, the first one.
Awesome.
And I was shooting behind-the-scenes material for Lionsgate.
How great is this? You couldn't expect that the movie would get such a big franchise.
No idea. But you could tell they knew what they were doing. James Wan and Lee Wanell, they knew what they were doing. They made that movie for like $1.2 million. Yeah. And now, it's bought all of them jets. And so good on them. I mean, they
still getting released every year and another.
Is that the Steelbook?
No, Rob, this is not the Steelbook. This is just the normal edition with slipcover.
No, so I'm a big fan.
Because I think the Steelbook is a Best Buy exclusive. But I could be wrong about that.
Because I didn't get I want to get the 4K. I didn't get it. I didn't get the 4K Steelbook. But anyway, so please continue.
The next 4K, Rob, a movie you probably are familiar with. It has a different title in Germany. It's called Der Clou in Germany. And it's the 4K Steelbook of Sting.
Oh, see. Okay, now let me just say, Dieter, one of my purchases this week, I did not rock the Steelbook, but I did, in fact, get the 4K. This is one of my favorite films of all time. This movie is delightful. Oh my God, do I love this movie. And to have it in 4K...
Are there any reviews already out for the 4K? I don't know.
I haven't read any. I mean, I haven't read any. It's funny. Like this movie growing up, I mean, this was a classic film. Like every film fan loved The Sting. Now no one talks about it. It's kind of it's so weird. It's kind of this. I'm so happy that Universal put this out in 4K because my God, this film is amazing. And it's great to have it in this form. I didn't get the Steelbook. I knew it came out as a Steelbook. I didn't rock the Steelbook.
And I don't think it is everywhere the same. I think it's a little different Steelbooks out there, but I could be wrong about it. But in Germany, it's called Der Clou, which just means some sort of der Trick, a trickery, something like that. The next one, I forgot to check the IMDb. What is the original title of it? Germans and their titles. The Thousand Eyes of the Ninja Show Kazuki.
Wow, Show Kazuki, yeah.
From the 80s, Rob. And I see the MGM logo. So, Rob, would this movie belong to Amazon if they buy MGM?
You know what? Honestly, I don't necessarily think so because they might have just distributed it and they're... maybe. I mean, if it says MGM, maybe it's part of their catalog. Any movie that Show Kazuki is in, I will watch.
Pray for Death. That's the original title.
Oh yeah, okay. Yes.
But the German title is, Rob, The Thousand Eyes of the Ninja. Okay?
Der Ninja.
Yeah. The next one, I don't know the movie, Rob, at all. Perhaps you can help me out. I totally dug the cover of the media book. It's a little older movie. It's called Fido.
Wow.
And it looks like the old, the horror comics.
Yeah, that's like an EC Comics. That's great. I know that movie.
You know the movie, Rob? I don't know the movie
I do,
at all.
but I have not seen it.
Oh, okay. So it is, of course, media book with usual German writing, and it comes
from what I remember. That's a zombie comedy.
Yeah. A some-com here we have it, Rob. A some-com zombie. Some-com. Zombie.
Instead of there you go. All right.
So you've got some stickers with it,
but it's got it's got a great cast. Isn't Trinity? Carrie Ann Moss. Trinity's in that movie.
Connolly, Carrie Ann Moss, Billy Connolly, Dylan Baker, Henry Chersney, and Tim Blake.
Henry Czerny. Oh my God, I love Henry. Yeah.
So you've got,
and that's the one.
Sticker in it.
It's domesticated zombies. They domesticate zombies.
There's a lot of swag in this media book, and it's not the only movie I have seen that uses the idea of this art of cover. So there's the Ryan Reynolds movie, help me, the one with the cat, with the speaking cat. I don't know the title anymore, which has the same idea of a media book. Okay. So Rob, this was my first part. Perhaps you can show some of the stuff, and I can get the swag in the media.
All right, I will cut to me. I'll show you a few. Of course, along with The Sting, Universal delivers the goods. A movie, one of the very first. This is ridiculous, but one of the very first movies I ever owned. I bought this film when MCA Universal released their first batch of VHS tapes back in, I want to say, 1980. I bought this movie on VHS. I've seen this movie 150 times. I've shown it to everybody I know, every kid I knew for years when I was 13. This was the movie that parents would call my mom and say, "Your son showed my daughter this movie, and it's rated R, and there are breasts and nudity in it, and what the hell is going on?" That would be Animal House, Animal. I can recite this movie backwards and forwards the same way I can do with Star Wars. This movie, one of my favorite comedies of all time. It's, by the way, surprisingly sophisticated. They have jokes about sex toys and screwing older women. It's fantastic. I love this movie so much. And look at this. I mean, Dieter, this is a shiny cover. Look at this. The Mad Magazine artwork on they use the actual key art. Actually, let me just shout out, both of these discs use the original key art that was used on the movie posters to promote these movies. So they didn't have some dumb kid creating some Photoshop bullshit. They went back to the original key art. Look at the beautiful artwork for both of these movies. You know why they use this artwork? Because it's fucking awesome. And it still is, years later, late 70s, early 70s. That's the way to go. So I was very excited to get both of these on 4K. Thank you, Universal, for going back and remastering your classic catalog titles, unlike other studios that do not. Another movie I got, a favorite that I had on DVD, now I have it on Blu-ray from Arrow, Giants and Toys. A Japanese film that's, it's kind of like, the Hudsucker Proxy of mid-60s Japan. I love this movie so much. If you've never seen this movie, you need to know this movie. You need to love this movie. You need to worship this film. It is fantastic. And God bless Arrow for putting this delightful comedy, I guess it's a comedy, dramatic comedy, out on Blu-ray. Beautiful. Love it, love it, love it. And let me just say, Here's another film that I have to point out, and I need to, before I show it to you, another Arrow title, and I have to say, Dieter, this is a cat in the bag for me. This is a cat in the bag. I've never seen this movie. People have told me it's great. It's got and I'm going to show you. Death Has Blue Eyes from Arrow. I mean, look at that cover. It looks dope, but here's the funny thing. With Arrow titles, I always look at the reversible cover, and when I saw the cover on this one, I was like, I'm going to leave the other reversible cover on it, because while I love their artwork, when you see this, Tatas on the cover. Love was her need, murder her deed. Death Has Blue Eyes, rated X. I hope this has 70s Bush in it, if you know what I mean. I hope so. How can you not love this? Thank you, Arrow. 2 Arrow titles, Death Has Blue Eyes and Giants and Toys. And for the conclusion of my first half of what I got this week, you know of my fondness for Space Battleship Yamato 2199, one of my favorite animes of all time. The updating of the anime is incredible. But in the first season that I spent horrible amounts of money on buying the Japanese Blu-rays, there's actually a movie that takes place within the first season that I was not able to get. And I got it. I got it from Europe. The Space Battleship Yamato 2199 movie, the Odyssey of the Celestial Ark, is basically the title of this film. So here it is. Got this from Europe, Region B. Thank God, because I already have 2199 and 2202, but I was never able to get this. Now I own it. So that ends the first half of what I acquired this week. Back to you, sir. Back to you.
Back to me. Rob, with the next title, we have to clear something up, because Warner put it out. From Warner Archive, awesome. Jackie Chan, Drunken Master 2. And Rob, what is it that's now with Hong Kong Rescue? Are they dead?
Bruh. Guess what I got? Oh, guess what I got? Guess what I got this week? Yeah. I got a shipping notice.
No way.
Yes, bruh. For Hong Kong, The Wall and Hard Boiled.
You gotta be kidding, Rob.
I am not kidding.
Is the website up? Because my friend told me about there was problems, and he wanted to put out, I think, Drunken Master 2 also.
Okay, we have to little background here. So there is a guy. He's basically one dude who has a company called sites called Hong Kong Rescue, and as you know, the one thing the Chinese, and I'm going to tell you, rather than destroy Tibet or the South China Sea and start a war, you should really protect your beautiful cinematic legacy. Come on, China, make it happen. So there's a guy he took it upon, basically one dude who is restoring all of our favorite Chinese films. And he's meticulously going through and getting whatever is available on home video, and he's using computer technology and upgrading Hong Kong cinema to the best it's ever been on video. But he's only one guy. And unfortunately, he takes a long time. So I ordered 2 discs from him on December 6th of 2020. One was his restoration of The Wall, Pink Floyd's The Wall, which I don't expect much from. But the other one that I expect great things from is my beloved Hard Boiled from John Woo. And hopefully by next week I will have it to show, and I will actually be able to throw it in and talk about what he's doing. But he has been restoring all of these films. And if you go to HongKongRescue.com, you can buy from him. And, you know, I've written him a couple of letters. I've heard he's a little cantankerous. And so if you write him letters going, where are my discs? He might get angry. But you know what? I think a couple of people might have complained. But anyway.
From the perspective of my friend, you almost get newsletters every 2 days.
Yes. No, he's loquacious in terms of newsletters. And right now, he has been restoring John Woo's The Killer for a long time, and it looks amazing. Because let's face it, I mean, as much as I love these movies, the video releases, even Criterion, I kept my Criterion Laserdiscs of The Killer and Hard Boiled because the artwork alone, those discs are amazing. But, you know, Hard Boiled, my beloved Tony Leung, you know, I have a man crush on a Chinese actor who's playing the Mandarin in the upcoming Shang-Chi, and I'm very excited. I got my shipping notice this week.
Unbelievable, Rob. Unbelievable. But you have to tell us how the wall looks and sounds.
Oh, I will.
Okay.
So back to you, Dieter.
Next title, we're staying in the martial arts realm. Never seen it, but as a 3D fan, Dynasty in super 3D.
Wow.
Didn't get around to it, but really looking forward to seeing it in 3D from, let me check, Rob, 1977 from Kino Lorber. Rob, I still haven't got my Good, the Bad, and the Ugly 4K. It's still, I don't know where it is.
Oh, you mean this? Ah, look what I got this week. Emma Bannon did not get this for me. But you know what? If I asked her, she makes all of my dreams come true. Just saying. When you can't do it, when you can't make me happy, Emma Bannon can. Just saying.
Still waiting, Rob. Still waiting. The next one, I don't know if Paramount did a new transfer like they all do with the stuff that's coming out from the back catalog. I don't think so, Rob, with Cage. Snake Eyes.
Oh, bro, I gotta get that shit. That shit is dope. Now, is that from Universal?
No, from Paramount, Rob. It's from Paramount.
It is from Paramount.
That's why I don't know if they did any kind of new transfer like they did with Flashdance, so it's probably could be just put it out as it is. I haven't checked it, Rob.
By the way, you just reminded me, Elizabeth has never seen Flashdance. She does not know how to take your passion and make it happen.
Make it happen. Put it on Elizabeth's then.
I know. We got Flashdance would be a great Elizabeth's movie to do.
Yeah. Next one, Rob. Perhaps you can help me. Never seen it. From the 80s. Help me, Shout Factory. From Scream. Yeah, from Shout Factory. Eyes of a Stranger.
I don't know that movie. I mean, I remember when that came out. I haven't seen it. There's also a pop song, unrelated, but
okay.
So it's a cat in the bag for you.
Cat in the bag. But considering Scream Shout Factory, we get, of course, I hope, good special features with it. Perhaps not 5 to 6 hours, considering Hills Run Red.
Well, you know, you would get 6 hours of special features, 8 hours if you did buy The Hills Run Red from Scream Factory. Yes, indeed.
Yes. Where do I go next? Okay. I have to apologize. This show is not for vegetarians at all. I watched this at the beginning of the week, and considering the movies that you want to make, this would probably in your wheelhouse, Rob, do something like this. Scavenger.
And it comes with a CD, a soundtrack CD.
Yes, soundtrack CD from Argentina, Rob. It's a film from Argentina.
Wow.
It has only one drawback, Rob. It comes with the original language, but it has no subtitles. This is the US version. It has no subtitles, but it has an English dub. But I rather would prefer to watch it in the original language with English subtitles. It doesn't come with subtitles. It's only 75 minutes long. Perhaps a little bit too rapey in the midsection, I would say. But it's really fun. Had good time with it.
Yeah, those rape movies are fun. Fun.
Yeah. It's low budget. And Rob, it delivers on that what the cover is showing me. And that's always a great thing. And it could probably get a little bit in trouble in Germany, considering censorship. There are 1 or 2 scenes, or at least back in the day, this movie would not come out in this way. And it misses, like, I don't know the English word, a polish. It misses the polish on almost every corner, but that what makes the movie rough, and it fits to it. Considering, let's say, the sound design, if they're playing a song, and the songs are really great. Didn't have the time to hear the soundtrack, but if you hear a song from the soundtrack, you just hear the song. All other noises are drowned then.
Yeah.
So it's missing a little polish to get the sound and what is happening in the background. But it's really a nice getting back from Argentina scavenger.
Well, wait, Dieter, let me just pause for 1 second. I just want to say that for those of you who might not know, Tango Shalom, a movie that I produced and edited, will be appearing at the Buenos Aires International Film Festival, which takes place in, of course, Argentina, because that's where Buenos Aires is. So I'm not just some guy talking shit on the internet. I've actually produced and edited a film that will be playing in Buenos Aires, the country that made what movie, Dieter?
Scavenger.
The Scavenger. My God. God bless Buenos Aires.
How could we be more different considering our movies, Rob? We have
know what? One's rapey and one's spiritual, but both came from Argentina.
The next one, German one, Cat in the Backdrop. I'm not that far that I would say it's time to kill your idol through fiction.
Wow.
Cat in the Back. At least it says
that's
uncut
18.
Version.
That's 18, bruh.
Yes, Rob. And it's uncut version in Germany. That's almost a good thing. Okay.
You sex club cannibalistic Germans. Yeah. You can't even 18. Like this movie is. Even the Germans said we might have people that eat each other, but you know what? This is a movie for only 18 and older. Wow.
But Rob, there's a little bit of trickery considering German releases. Sometimes, perhaps I had told this, I'm not sure. The movie is actually rated 16.
Oh.
And then they put on trailers, and the trailers have an 18 rating, so they get the 18 for the disc, but the movie is actually rated 16. So clever for the horror fans. Oh, it's 18. Some heavy stuff in it. Back in the day.
Can we talk about your low rent Hot Toys sequel trilogy Stormtroopers? Like, what the hell, man? What did you get those for $6 each or what?
Rob, you said nobody buy them. I was totally in, Totally in. What can I say?
Do you know Patrick?
Patrick,
your boss, he wouldn't buy those.
No, probably not. Not anymore. Not anymore.
By the way, Patrick. Everybody should look at. How do you pronounce Patrick's last name in German?
Keller.
Really? That's it?
Or you mean the YouTube channel? The name of the
YouTube
channel?
I guess it's not his name. It's his living room. It's his couch. It's Patrick's living room.
Wohnzimmer. Patrick's Wohnzimmer.
So everybody should go to Patrick's Wohnzimmer channel, and even though his Hot Toys reviews are in German, you all need to go. Let me put my so you know I mean this. Go to Patrick's YouTube channel. Watch his Hot Toys reviews in German. He does a great job shooting and showing you they're very funny. And even though it's in German and you don't know what they're saying or he's saying, go to his channel.
He does
subscribe.
Some around it. And he really does great backgrounds with the figures.
He really does.
His Hot Toys reviews are a little different than what you will see.
Yeah, so it's Patrick's, but could you spell that out in English so people could go?
Yeah. Patrick, so it's Patrick with an S, and then WOHNCIMMER. So Zimmer, like we know from Hans Zimmer, and in front would be Wohn. WOOHN.
I would say all of you who are watching this, please go to his YouTube channel, subscribe, leave him a comment. He does a really good job, and maybe he'll give Dieter a raise.
Yeah.
Maybe.
But Rob, I was fully in, and for me, they are not to blame for what the movies turned out to be.
You're right. You're right. So what that they look like Apple Store Stormtroopers? It's fine.
Unbelievable. Rob, the next movie I'm really looking forward to. I already had it ordered as the US version, but then it came out here also. Not seen it. It's called Hunted.
Oh, so look at that.
Really looking forward to it. Let me just check. Okay, the original audio is English. I wasn't sure if it is a foreign movie. Hunted, it's called. It's out in America too. So I could still go, Rob, or do we switch?
We could switch. I've got some stuff. All right. Finally, I got the Shout Factory King Kong. And by the way, this is a beautiful, beautiful cover. But the one thing that concerned me was I was like, when I was a kid, one of the greatest movie posters I'd ever seen was the John Berkey painting that was used as the key art for King Kong. And because Shout Factory does things right, while this was the cover of the Blu-ray, it was reversible. And the greatest, I mean, this is as a child, I learned that the world was unfair because I was like, oh my God, look at King Kong straddling the Twin Towers. Rest in peace, Twin Towers. King Kong was this big, straddling the Twin Towers with a fighter plane, in his hand. This was when I learned in 1976 that the world was not fair. And King Kong, this never happens in the movie. There's nothing as badass as this in the movie. But, I mean, this cover is dope. So thank you. Now, I have to tell you, there's a lot of people like, oh, the 70s King Kong, directed by John Gillerman, that movie sucks. This movie fucking rules. And what's great about this movie is I haven't watched it yet, but it has the TV cut on it. Because in the 70s, movies like Airport 77, and they were all Universal movies. They would do these long 2-minute warning. They would do these long TV versions that like totally changed the tenor of the film. Great to finally have this. I hope I would have had this last week. I didn't, but it came in the mail from Shout Factory. And now I don't even know if I showed this last week. Did I have this last week? Did I have this? Am I forgetting? Okay, well, that's good. One of my favorite movies. But then also the Academy Award winning Nomadland. I finally got Nomadland. Yeah, I ordered this from Amazon. It took a long time to get here. Chloe Zhao's movie Nomadland, Best Director, Best Film, Best Actress, Nomadland. And I own it. I haven't seen it. No, fuck no. Come on, man. But we're going to watch it, and we're going to do a whining about movies about it because I want to buy a van and travel the country like Billy Batson and his mentor in Shazam. So people are like, what? But the people who know. So there you go, Dieter. That's my haul for the week. Why don't you finish up and show us what you got?
We are talking a lot about Dead. Dawn of the Dead, Army of the Dead. I watched it yesterday.
Oh, what did you think?
I did like it. Had some problems. And, of course, Rob, the movie will get a little bit of a pass if you have a character called Dieter. Okay? That gives the movie...
Okay. Hold on. Don't you think... You know what? When I was watching that movie, I watched the character of Dieter, and I could only think of you. I find you to be an intellectual, cool dude. But that Dieter was a stereotypical German. He was right out of a Saturday Night Live sketch. Did you not feel that he was denigrating the country that has real cannibals and hardcore death metal and techno record stores? Did you not feel that character besmirched the great... I mean, Germania. Gladiator opens fighting like Cro-Magnon Germans. I mean, my God. And Dieter in Army of the Dead really took your country down a peg or two, don't you think?
Yeah, okay, but it was my name, so I give it a pass. The action was great, but everything around it, I didn't feel the chemistry of the team building. Like most people said, it was too long. And I watched before we started the show the Angry Joe spoiler review, where he did point out all the stupid stuff that was in the movie. So it was okay, and I'm really was surprised that he didn't shoot it in 235, because I say, if you do a movie to give it a little bit of cinematic feel, do it 235. Come on, 185 always looks a little bit on the cheap side. Okay, the action was great, but the one thing I will say, I written down her name, Tig Notaro, the comedian. She was really inserted great. If you didn't know it about the history of it, you couldn't tell from my perspective that she
You're
was
right.
integrated. If you don't know the history, Rob, can you tell the people a little bit about the history?
Yeah,
About the pilot in Army of the Dead.
Yeah, so Chris D'Elia, the comedian Chris D'Elia, was originally cast as the helicopter pilot in the film, and then he was sexting underage girls, as dudes do. They use their celebrity to get some underage tail. Not a good thing to do. So these accusations arose. He had already been shot in the film, so Zack Snyder, he pulled a Ridley Scott when he had to replace Kevin Spacey with Christopher Plummer. In All the Money in the World. What was that movie called? All the Money?
Yeah, you were right.
Yeah, All the Money in the World. So he had to replace the J. Paul Getty story or whatever. So what Zack Snyder was faced with doing was the daunting task of replacing Chris D'Elia. So as an article came out, Dave Bautista, that stars in Army of the Dead, has not yet met Tig Notaro. They never met.
And so I've seen a clip from Jimmy Fallon where she interviewed her. She did all her stuff alone.
Yeah, and there's a couple of great articles that have come out. I mean, I like Tig Notaro a lot, despite the fact that she plays Jet Reno.
The same character as in Discovery.
Yeah,
which annoys me to no end.
But she smokes cigarillos like the man with no name, which is fine. Okay, so she was completely. She completely replaced Chris D'Elia. Zack Snyder said the zombie tiger in Army of the Dead cost a little bit more money to put in the movie, but they spent millions of dollars to replace Chris D'Elia. But I have to tell you, it was pretty.
And if you don't know it about the history, you don't see it from my perspective.
Now, I agree. Everyone's looking for that, but when I Army of the Dead was the first movie I'd seen in 15 months in a theater. I mean, 15 months of my life.
You were hyping it up, Rob. You were hyping it up.
I was really excited to see it. I have to say, I felt that they were. I've never seen a movie that I felt was being made up as it went along. I really felt that Army of the Dead was being made up as it went along. I really did not like the film at all.
What I didn't like was the zombies was more intelligent, that they had their own cult, the hibernating zombies. I just like my zombies more rudimentary, like in Dawn of the Dead.
Well, giving zombies a culture sort of removes the whole point of the Romero-esque zombies. Like, if you can think, like, the first thing you'd say is, well, if you are intelligent, why do you want to be a zombie anymore? It's like, okay, we're going to have our undead culture. It's just, it doesn't work, and there was no the irony of the Romero-esque zombies is lost upon Zack Snyder, and I really didn't like the film, but I'm happy he got it made. I'm happy as he has a Netflix deal. They're making a prequel romantic comedy heist movie now. And they're doing an animated series called Lost Vegas, which is great. So I'm happy that Zack Snyder has a new home at Netflix, and he will no longer be abused the way he was at Warner Brothers. So good on you, Zach.
So back to the Dead. We talk a lot about the Dead, but I don't know what you think about the next one. Me neither, Rob, because I haven't seen the movie in a long time. The remake from Tom Savini of Night of the Living Dead.
Respectable movie. I mean, the reason that was made is so George Romero could reclaim his copyright, because the original Night of the Living Dead is that really a tape? Is that a VHS tape?
No, it's made like a tape, Rob. It's made like a
Where'd you
VHS
get that
tape.
shit, dude? That's awesome.
That has come out really new here in Germany, but unfortunately, I rather would have gotten the media book with an awesome cover, but I was way too late to the party. It's already sold out. Now the eBay price gone up, but I did catch these.
Dude, I want that. Get me one of those. Get me one of those. I want that. I don't need the media book. I want the VHS. Yes, I want that. I mean.
So you say, Rob, I haven't seen it in a long time. It's respectable, the remake?
Yes, it is. It is. And let me just show you. The reason I want that is because let's do a flashback. Remember when you got me this? The Eden Lake. I mean, you got me. I was dying to see this movie. And I couldn't find it. And what's so awesome about this Look at this. I mean, this might be one of my favorite, and you got, oh wait. I mean, I don't know if you can tell. Doesn't this look real? I mean, this is one of the greatest things ever. But by the way, this is a beta tape for those of you who don't know. But I mean, these are just 3D. This is a flat. It's not a real. This is amazing. And anything to hark back to my old days. I mean, I love this. This is one of my favorite special editions I own. By the way, this fucking movie is harsh as fuck. Just so you know. My God. Wow.
Mine is not as nice as yours, Rob, but it comes, which I found nice. I haven't opened it up yesterday. It has some stickers, and the stickers you can put on the videotape.
Yeah, well, I need that. You need to get it for me. I don't care how much it costs. I don't care how long it takes you to get. I need it.
So this is the insides. You got Blu-ray and DVD, and this, I think, this was on the cover of the media book. And I totally dug it, but I was too late.
That's some dope artwork, bro. No, you got the better version. The VHS, that's better.
And Rob, that's not all. It has a booklet in it. Was in it.
Nice.
Too.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen the movie in a long time. But you say it's a respectable remake. I take your word for it. Night of the Living Dead from Tom Savini. It says it's great. It's from Nameless Pictures, but they made it look like the old Columbia logo.
Yeah, it's amazing. You got to get that for me, man. Get that for me.
And of course, it says, be kind, please rewind. Other way, you have to pay one.
Yeah, I need that.
And it says, for the first time, Rob, uncut in HD. So I believe it was cut in Germany. And it's limited to 500.
God damn it, get that for me right now, Dieter. Why aren't you ordering it for me right now? Do it now.
Do it now. The next one, I haven't seen, Rob, but I heard good things about it. A nice pink edition. The movie Kids has come out in a new...
Oh, you are a dirty, dirty, dirty old man.
But they're just kids, Rob. They're just kids. So it's a nice media book. It's a new edition.
Oh man, I got it. That shit will get you canceled, son.
Okay. So, Kids.
That's actually that's Larry. You know, he made that movie. Larry Clark.
Correct. Larry Clark. Kids.
Yeah, and he's a dirty old man.
Can't find the year. God damn it. Because it's not from yesterday. That's obviously the next one. The reviews were let's say.
Christ,
mixed,
man, how many discs did you buy this week? What the hell?
Yeah, it was more than I was expecting. The next one, the reviews are mixed, but it's probably better than Cosmic Sin, considering we have Bruce Willis, and on the other spectrum we have, of course, Nicolas Cage in Wonderland.
Oh, dude!
And this is a media book.
Wow, that's pretty dope.
And inside we have nice pictures of the puppets, but I haven't seen it, and you probably know it, Rob. He doesn't speak any word at all. Nicolas Cage in the movie, but I haven't seen it, and the reviews were a little bit mixed. But at least the media book is nice. Willy's Wonderland. So only one left to go, Rob. And I told you before, this is not a show for vegetarians because of scavengers. And the next one from Second Sight, Rob, I got the raw.
Oh, you know what? I keep meaning to order that. I need to get that. By the way, Second Sight. Can we just talk about Second Sight? They are a phenomenal. I mean,
Cut
Second
off the
Sight.
edges again.
They put out the Dawn of the Dead disc. I mean, to me, Second Sight is holy. You got me there. I couldn't get it. You got me their Walkabout, Nicholas Roeg's Walkabout disc.
Yeah.
I mean,
the price has really gone up because I wanted to get it too, but it was way too late.
Oh my God! Yeah, can I just talk about how great Second Sight is? And this movie Raw is beautifully fucked up. Oh,
tell the people a little bit about Raw, while I show some.
No, I don't want to ruin it, but it's about it's about a girl who's in a school.
Vegetarian.
Yeah, she's a vegan, vegetarian vegan, who learns to like meat.
Okay. You don't need any
That's
more
all you need to know.
synopsis.
That's all you need to know
But
about
we,
Raw.
what
And
to
it's
say?
French.
It's
It's
a
French.
French movie, correct? French. So we've watched French movies too.
And despite the
even if
fact
it
what
did
the
make some
Spanish think
jokes.
about despite what the Spanish think about the French,
Yeah.
I love the French.
Especially
one
the
of my
horror stuff like Martyrs.
I wouldn't have met my beloved Elizabeth without seeing Amelie, and she's half French, so I like the French, despite the fact that the Spanish might not, or anyone else in Europe. But that's okay.
So Rob,
But
this was
French
my last
movies
one.
are good.
Second side.
God
Raw.
damn it! I have to get that now. I haven't ordered. I'm jelly. I got to order. I hope it's not sold out.
No, probably not, Rob, because it's perhaps not the most prolific film that people know. Still, a lot of people don't know Raw, I would say.
They're putting out an awesome version of the Babadook.
Yeah, in 4K.
Yeah. And can I just say, Second Sight, I don't know if anyone from Second Sight's watching this, but God bless you for putting out Martin. You know, I think we talked about it last week briefly, but they've announced that the transfer of George Romero's Martin, the movie he made before Dawn of the Dead, starring John Amplas as the titular vampire. Love that movie. By God, thank you, Richard Rubenstein, for selling your movies to Second Sight. They're in good hands.
Definitely. So, letters, Rob.
Letters, bro.
Or-
I got letters. You got letters.
Okay.
Yeah. Why don't you read? Why don't you
Okay,
start?
you sent me one before the show,
Yep.
and it's from Kevin Dunleavy, and he says, "Hi, Rob and Dieter. Over the past couple months, I've been starting to collect 4K Ultra HD DVDs that also contains the Blu-ray and digital code. They come with a nice sleek cover that makes for a sexy-looking physical media collection. The first film to kick off my collection was Todd Phillips' Joker. It is easily one of my top films of all time, and man, that score by Hildur Guðnadóttir is absolutely bone-chilling yet beautiful at the same time. It fueled my passion for rewatching films, and I soon filled up my collection with some of my modern favorites such as Parasite, Tenet, and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. All of which are great films that arguably get better with each watch. I am glad I found some imagination connoisseurs looking to keep physical media alive. My collection may be small now, but I expect my walls to be covered with shelves of these in no time." That's awesome. Let me help. Kevin. That's awesome, Kevin. There is one thing I wanted to ask you both. Though. As a kid, some of my first DVDs ever were Star Wars episodes 1 to 6. I was mainly interested in the prequels at that age, but my love for them... That says it in the letter, Rob.
I know. I love that. I'm just being facetious.
I was mainly interested in the prequels at that age, but my love for all of them took up most of my young years and still does. One thing I noticed on these DVDs was the hours upon hours of bonus footage.
Oh, yeah.
There was everything from deleted scenes to George Lucas' meticulous process of storyboarding and designing creatures.
Yeah.
It was so eye-opening to a young kid who assumed films just happened. I was absorbed into the world of how ILM pioneered digital effects and insane stunt choreography of Nick Gillard. Those DVDs had some of the most incredible and educational bonus content I've ever seen on a piece of physical media. And there was hours of it for every episode.
Yep.
I bring this all up to ask you both if you have a favorite piece of physical media with some enlightening behind the scenes that maybe boosted your appreciation for the work. Thanks for taking the time to read, as always, Kevin. Okay. Since we all love our bonus stuff, of course, the stuff that Rob did for a Lord of the Rings was great to watch.
Well, let me just say, I always want to say that I was just a cog in a machine. It was a team of people, about 30 of us working. We spent a year on each one of those special editions, and Michael Pellerin was Curdy Pellerin, Jeff Curdy, and Michael Pellerin were the impresarios of that company. Some of the, it's funny. Some of the when I look back, when I die on my deathbed, my time working on Fellowship and Two Towers was some of the best times I've ever had making those documentaries.
And the stuff that the friend of Rob does, Charles Riga, for the Alien movies, or our good friend Cliff, who was on invited, strangely enough, on Saturday, who does new special features that goes beyond.
Yeah, Cliff
usual
did
ABK
Knives Out, which is great. I mean, what's really interesting is there was a time, maybe someone will write a book about us, about the auteurist behind-the-scenes people. And Charlie, his favorite movie in the world is Blade Runner. And
that was a great
that Blu-ray set, when the set came out, it was one of the, I think it was, in terms of the Blu-ray era, the 5-disc Blade Runner set that Charlie produced still stands up as one of the great, I mean, it's clearly in the top 5 physical media releases ever. And then he went on and did the Alien Anthology, which is incredible, amazing. And I'm proud to know him. I talk with him every week on a Zoom session. Great stuff. And if you want to get great behind the scenes, buy that 5-disc set of Blade Runner on Blu-ray, and then get the Alien Anthology. It's also incredible. And Cliff's version of Knives Out, is another great. Recently, there's not a lot of great special features being made.
He's the reason I will buy a Chaos Walk-In, just to see what was up with the production.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So I have a letter. I've got a couple letters to read.
Oh.
Guess who sent us a letter, Dieter?
Oma94.
Nope.
What? What the hell is going on?
He did too, but Vesna.
Vesna
wrote us a letter.
Here we go. Vesna.
Hello, Robert and Dieter. Although I love physical stuff, what can I say? My fingers work better than my eyes. This is actually my first letter to Let's Get Physical Media, so please be gentle. First, happy belated birthday to my favorite boys.
Thank
That's
you.
metal, Vesna. May your channel grow just like your collection. I've recently read Suzanne Collins' The Hunger Games trilogy for the first time, though I watched the movies before. I noticed that there were also some deviations from the source material, just like with other adaptations like Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit, and Harry Potter. Now, what I want to know, which one of those 3 books you like the most, and which movie of those tetralogy you prefer, or you see them as all one movie or book, just like I do with Lord of the Rings. My personal opinion is that, although I didn't like Mockingjay Part 1 and 2 the same as I liked the previous 2 movies, I have to admit that I liked them more than the book. Why? Because unlike in the book, Katniss was a more active character. Anyway, I want to hear your opinion on that, especially from our favorite Saarbrücken German.
Mm-hmm.
I've never heard you doing the comparison between those 2 physical medias, movies and books. Also, do you think that the story would be better told if there was just one Mockingjay movie instead of 2 parts? Thanks, and live long and prosper. Vesna.
Okay.
God, I love this woman. She's amazing.
Definitely.
Vesna, what a delight getting a letter from you. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Okay, Dieter. Dieter, okay. Over to you, because let's. I mean, she asks a very good question.
Yeah.
Did you even read the books?
Rob, it was actually, you say if you come to somebody's home, you look what books he has, and you would be really disappointed when you get into here. Okay, I have a lot of Blu-rays, so you would think, oh, it doesn't have any books that douche. But I did read The Hunger Games because everybody's calls, it's a cheap knockout from Battle Royale. Because when I read the synopsis, it totally got me intrigued because it read like a little bit of Battle Royale. And I just wanted to see, Rob, if my English is good enough to read a book in English, but I didn't want to have a big political heavy thriller. So just something in the YA stuff, not for kids, in the middle. If my English is good enough, if I could read a book like that. And from the synopsis, I was intrigued,
Yep.
And then I read the first book, and I couldn't believe it because I'm a movie watcher. But then on Friday I got free, and I was sitting on the couch and reading The Hunger Games, the first book, because I wanted to finish it. Westner, for me, the first book is probably my favorite.
Me
considering
too.
Considering the movies, the second one is my favorite, Catching Fire, because Catching Fire did some changes that I really liked. I loved the ending of the movie. I was totally, for me, it was taking the heart of the book and put it on screen. Of course, they had a bigger budget than the first one.
Different director.
Yeah. So for me, the second movie is my favorite. But like you, Vesna, I think the Mockingjay movies are actually a little bit better than the book is structured.
I agree. I totally agree.
Considering they try to get Katniss to help them out, and they first showed her what was happening in District 12. The book starts with her in District 12. So for me, it was nice to see you could change something and did some stuff better. But of course, I can't deny it. 2 movies were done to make more money. It's just done. But considering the running time, even if you would cut out stuff, you probably still would have a 3-hour movie, considering the running time of both Mockingjay movies. So I don't know if would have played. Let's face it. It paid out at the box office, because in Germany every movie got a bigger audience. So Mockingjay 2 had actually the most crowd who saw it. It's still gotten bigger. So for me, I totally love Mockingjay 1 because it was risky enough to try something different. But I was aware when I read the movie, I don't think people would like it because I know the source material. And since Catching Fire ended off that big cliffhanger, I already knew that people were expecting something completely different, how this movie would be playing out on it. And Mockingjay 2, I find it the weakest one of the bunch, not because it's really close to the book, which was strange to me, that the movie that is really close to the book was actually not my least favorite of the 4. So the second one is my favorite. It comes. I was at a premiere in Berlin. I saw it in IMAX, and I totally was taken aback. And I loved the changes that they did, because in the second book they had the new training sessions where they did other stuff, but you could show in the movie that Katniss, how she reacted to the drawing of Peter. In the book, it was just described, but in the movie, you could show her reaction. So they did really nice changes.
Yeah.
And considering always the saying, it's a cheap knockoff of Battle Royale, I can understand that. It's totally legit, but let's face it, Rob. Do you really think Susan Collins back in the day would, I have to seek out this Japanese movie everyone is talking about, so I can rip that movie up? So I totally don't think she has seen Battle Royale before she wrote the books. Rob, you probably can tell a lot more books she drew inspirations from.
Well, first of all, by the way, very eloquent. I was riveted by this, Dieter, because I don't know anyone that's as obsessed by the Hunger Games films as you. So to hear your analysis, I was getting all sweaty, and I was incredibly enthralled. But I have to say that for me,
your take, Rob.
I had not heard about the Hunger Games book. I want to say I read a review of it. Stephen King wrote a review of the first Hunger Games, I think, in Entertainment Weekly. Okay. And based on that, I immediately went out and bought the book. I loved it. The other ones hadn't come out yet. Only the Hunger Games was available. I loved it. And the first thing that struck me was it was not inspired by Battle Royale. It was actually inspired by Stephen King's The Running Man. And there are other movies like Steve Railsback and Olivia Hussey were in an Australian movie called Turkey Shoot, or it was a dystopian science fiction film where people are hunting humans. Turkey Shoot, or as we knew it in the States, Escape 2000. And I think it's Brian Trenchard Smith who directed it. If you haven't seen Turkey Shoot, it has some amazing gore effects. And I think it's like 1980. So when I watched The Hunger Games, or read the book, I was like, oh my God, The Running Man, she read The Running Man, and she saw Turkey Shoot, or as we know it, Escape 2000. So I didn't think that Battle Royale was the inspiration for it.
No, me neither.
I didn't. And I have to say, my favorite's the first film, because I thought the first film was a terrific adaptation of the book. I really did.
Yeah.
And my problem with Catching Fire was it seemed totally contrived that Katniss was brought back into the arena. I'm like, come on, man. You know, and while the expansion of the arena and the different things they had to go through, that was all really cool. I liked all that. I still was like, give me a break. She fucking won the Hunger Games. She won. So by your own rules, she's done with that shit. And then they had to bring her back in. Yeah. Well, we're gonna have a new Hunger Games where all the winners need to come back and fight again. It's like Survivor Championship or round. I was okay, I get it, because it became really successful. I don't think Suzanne Collins wrote the Hunger Games thinking, I'm gonna write a trilogy. I don't think she did that. I think that she got a lot of attention. And as far as a young adult novel series is concerned, I didn't feel that way when I read the first book. I'm like, kids are fucking getting slaughtered. I love this shit. I'm like, I am so here for this. And while the movie really soft pedals what's going on, I mean, it should have been an R-rated battle royale, we're killing kids extravaganza, but that's why we have battle royale.
Correct.
I mean, I can't believe he likes you better than me. You're dead. That's why battle royale will rule forever. But I like Hunger Games. I think it's good. So
great.
To me,
so I hope we answered your question.
Sorry,
Rob.
I want to say thank you, Vesna, for writing in. I mean, my God, she just de-virginized herself. How many times has Vesna been de-virginized doing something? Because she has clearly the dirtiest mind of any imagination connoisseur, and that's why we love Vesna. Anyway, there's another letter, Dieter, that I would like to read. All right, this new letter comes from Gerard Dizon. Gerard says, Wait, hang on. Hang on. Let me just put you on screen. What? Yes?
Because Gerard did send, I asked Gerard, because he's a medical student, about gun woman, if it would be possible to put a gun in a person, and he said to me, yes, it would be possible. You know, the stomach a little bit up, the liver a little bit to the side. The only problem he would said to me was a little bit of very mild pain issues that could arise. But other than that, it would be medically possible, he said, because he watched Gun Woman. You now go, Rob.
Wow, yeah. I mean, wow, you guys, okay. Greetings, Rob and Dieter. Love tuning in as always. Physical media has come a long way since the VHS era, and now we have 4K, HDR, and etc. I remember when I was a boy, if I wanted to see something, I have to ask my parents for it, and they would rent a DVD of it, and we had to return it the next day. We didn't have the freedom and versatility of viewing movies or media the way we have now. We have streaming platforms, 4K discs, and you can watch them anytime you like. That has me wondering what the future of physical media will be. Will we really see the end of it because of streaming? Or will it have a comeback of some kind of miracle format that even triumphs over streaming? It's hard for me to imagine what that technology would be. Maybe physical media could be like an option, like it is now with movies having a physical media release, even if it's only on Netflix. With that, I want to ask you both a couple of questions. 1, has physical media reached its peak? Or is there still something that physical media can improve on that would give way for a new format? And 2, can you guys give your speculations on how we will be consuming media in 40 years?
Holy smokes.
I know, right?
So considering, has it reached the peak? I believe the peak is long behind us.
Yes.
Considering physical media. And Cliff and Rob touched on this already on Midnight Metal at Saturday. It's probably that those little boutique labels will keep us afloat, not with big editions, with with a little bit smaller editions, but I think we will have physical media for the die-hard collectors. It will be a little bit switched to, like in a Laserdisc, a little bit more of a niche market, but it will be probably go on for a longer time. Considering, like Rob said, we got PS5 and the Xbox Series X with both disk drives in it, and in 40 years, I would hope that we would have some 3D hologram, something like this. Or what I really wanted to check out, I don't have the equipment, the VR classes for the PS, for the PlayStation,
which they're
where you can watch
upgrading.
movies, where you can watch movies in 3D, our 3D Blu-rays that we still have, Rob. I really wanted to check out how good that technology would be, to see movies in 3D with a virtual reality class. But in 40 years, perhaps 3D holographic stuff, that would be great, but perhaps not.
Well, I mean, my take on it is this. Physical media is already dead. We live in a world where of diminishing returns, and there will always probably be niche labels, but eventually it's like oil. Movies are a finite resource. I mean, they're always making more, but those are going to go direct to streaming. Stinky Tuna has made me part of the tuna train this week, so I'm very excited about that. But physical media is dead. Now, there are companies for the next 3, 4, 5, 6 years will make them, because PlayStation and Xbox support physical media. They'll continue on. But in 10 years, physical media will be dead. 4K is the end of physical media.
Correct. That was Chera asking. Also, for Rob and us, we both see no new formats on the horizon.
No.
Okay, is the end of the line.
Yeah, and we have to remember, I mean, I know it's shocking to know, but still the biggest physical media format is DVD. DVDs outsell 4K and Blu-ray. DVD still makes up over 50%, 60% of the marketplace. 4Ks are tiny. Because the thing about 4K is finally the promise. When I was first getting VHS tapes when I was 13, 41 years ago, that's how old I am. But everything still works. But so you wanted to have home theater. Well, the image was just not there. It was NTSC video, and it was garbage. 480 by, or was it 640 by 480? Terrible. Now we have 4K is amazing. I mean, it's basically the human eye sees in 4K. A little bit more, but 4K is basically it. So the promise that was made to us over 4 decades ago, being able to recreate the movie-going experience in your home, we now have the technology to actually do that. In fact, if you have a great home theater system, you're going to get a better experience than in most theaters, because you can control if something's too dim. If you trick out your system and really calibrate it, it's amazing. Well, unfortunately, most movie theaters aren't doing that. So when you go see a film, it doesn't look as good as it should, and you're watching a file. You're no longer watching a print, you're watching a file. And you can recreate the home experience even better. The sound, the technology that's on your little 4K disc is fucking amazing. And if you buy the right equipment, I know it's expensive, but you can build a home theater system that's amazing. Unfortunately, I don't see physical media here in 5 years.
No.
I don't.
Okay. But there's always some kind of light at the end of, not end of the tunnel, but I read that Netflix will put out Beast of Nation as a Blu-ray.
Right. Yeah. Yes.
Which is great when if a streaming service themselves put out a
But
Blu-ray
Beasts of No Name, that was a movie that came out, what, 5, 6, 7 years ago?
Yeah, I know.
It's Cary Fukunaga's debut film that led to True Detective and No Time to Die. By the way, I have another letter to read.
Okay.
It's from the horniest oyster.
Oh,
The horniest
great.
oyster. Horny greetings, Rob and Dieter. Love your show. All of us here
Thank you.
love physical media. And what makes something you love even better? Sharing it with the people you love, like all of you. Just like when we watch a great movie or series and ask our friends to give it a go. But of course, not everyone will like what you recommend, and we all know that feeling. But a thought came to me. What if you had to share a day with 3 clones of yourselves? Certainly, the only person in the world who would like what you like is yourself. What would you do? You could watch your favorite movies in a marathon and have a great time. You could go on an adventure for a day. You could even prank some of your friends. Me? Well, I am the horniest oyster, so of course we would be at church having an all-day Bible study to repent. That's my secret, Captain. I'm always horny. Thanks. Nice riff on the Hulk there. So what do you think about that, Dieter? If you could have clones of yourself, what would you do? What would you tell them? What would you guys watch movies?
So
What would you do?
don't they have my memories? So they're just
Yeah, they would. They'd have all. Well, no. You know what? No, they're clones of you. None of that Star Trek Nemesis bullshit.
Yep,
They're
yeah,
just
that's
clones.
exactly.
They wouldn't know anything about what you know. So they're clones of you. But I would say they don't have your memories because that's not how cloning works.
Okay. So I would recommend them movies or something like this, and I hope they have the same shitty taste as I have. Okay. Then
I
probably,
wouldn't say your taste is shitty. I would say it's refined to a certain
questionable.
All right.
Okay.
There's good trash, Dieter, and
trash
there's bad trash.
Quality trash, as Tim Hens would say. Of course, we would watch Terminator 2, Judgment Day, okay? Or Raiders of the Lost Ark, so the greatest. Battle Royale, we would watch Battle Royale. But I don't know what I would do else. We would go to Kiss concert, if that would possible. It
Right.
would be possible. But what would you do with your clones? I don't.
Well, my first inclination, and Vesna will like this, was I would have a
Help me,
gay.
Rob, you as a cyber fan, you don't know what
I'd have a
to do
gay
with clones.
orgy with myself. I would have 4. We would have a gay orgy, and I could walk on the wild side with myself and have a fuck fest. That would be my first inclination. But because we're talking about movies, because who could get ourselves off better than us? I know that was for you, Vesna. That was for you. Because both you and Willow would watch, and then maybe I could get you to join in, and then it would be awesome. But that said, what I would do is I would probably, if I had clones of myself, they wouldn't have seen what I've seen. So what I would do is I'd pick like my 10 favorite movies. And I would sit down and I would explain, I'm like, I know you guys are clones of me. And what I want to do is I want to show you the things that I already love, but it would be my life experience made me love these movies. And you guys are clones, so your minds are like a sponge. You don't know. And is it nature or nurture? And I would show them my 10 favorite movies, things like All That Jazz, Almost Famous, Amelie, All About Eve, Empire Strikes Back, all my favorite movies, Godfather 1 and 2, Dr. Strangelove, Barry Lyndon, the entire Kubrick oeuvre, which would take me over 10, and we'd have a discussion about them. And I would want to know, I'm like, genetically we're the same, but you guys are newly born clones, so you haven't had my life experience. What do you think of these films? And hopefully their responses would make me learn something about myself. So there you go.
Right.
What do you think about that?
Not bad.
That's
bad.
after we're all sweaty and
hope-
drenched in bodily fluids because we had a gay orgy with one another.
And hope they will like it as much as you do.
The orgy? It'd be awesome. Come on now.
And the movies.
The movies too. Now, by the way, I forgot. I just realized I forgot to send you this. We do have a letter from Omar.
Okay.
I know I only sent you one because I'm just finding these. Omar94 writes in and says, "Hi, Rob, and guten Tag, Dieter.
Guten Tag, Oma.
Last week, I asked about behind-the-scenes videos for movies. This is a second-parter, so to speak, since this letter is about the same subject matter, but a different conversation. Since you both have home media, that's how you watch behind-the-scenes videos, I don't collect physical media anymore, so I watch videos on YouTube. With that, however, I have a bit of a disappointment. I don't know about the two of you, but I do not seem to find behind-the-scenes videos that are interesting for movies now. I think they're informative, but they're not entertaining. When I watch behind-the-scenes videos for something like A Quiet Place, Marvel and DC movies, the Disney Star Wars movies, the live-action Disney remakes, and the more recent Pixar and Disney animated movies, for example, I find them informative, but not very entertaining to watch. However, when I watch behind-the-scenes videos for older movies, I find them to be both informative and entertaining. It can be for movies like a lot of, say, 20th Century Fox, Disney animated movies, but also things like Roman Holiday, The Maltese Falcon, To Catch a Thief, The Adventures of Robin Hood, and The African Queen, just to name a few examples, but also for movies which came later on, like both the original and prequel Star Wars trilogies, the first Indiana Jones films, E.T., Jurassic Park, Tim Burton's Batman, Richard Donner's Superman, Terminator 2, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, just to name a few examples. By the way, Omar, you know what's not in there? X-Men, X-Men 2, Lord of the Rings, Superman Returns, Chronicles of Narnia. How about some shit that I worked on, bruh? Come on, man. Yo. I don't know why I feel that way, but I just cannot seem to enjoy behind-the-scenes videos for movies now. I don't know about the two of you, but that's just me. Thanks, and live long and prosper. What do you think, Dieter?
I think we covered this letter last week. Like I said,
did we?
The new behind the scenes stuff is a lot of EPK kits. They're just more promotion for the movie. So as long as Cliff doesn't it, and you get more than just an EPK kit, it's just more promotional stuff. And even back in the day when Rob was doing his special features, he will tell you, considering Superman Returns, that just the movie did sell better than the special editions with 3 hours of bonus material. So even in the height of the DVDs where you did get great special features,
right?
It was probably not for everyone. And these days, you probably mostly a lot of titles that I have shown have probably 0 bonus features at all, considering. And mostly the new stuff is just EPK stuff. If you get lucky, you get something that Cliff has done, then it will be more fruity and more juicy and give you something to more value for the movie. Rob?
Well, I mean, look, the problem is this. As more and more corporate interests are controlling Hollywood, they don't want... Behind-the-scenes features can be very damning because you never know what you're going to show. And the thing is, here's the funny thing. All movies are basically made the same way. And I think one of the reasons that the studios discovered that not a lot of people care about behind-the-scenes footage, only about 20% of the consumers even care, and those, how many people watch them. Unfortunately, it takes a lot of money. Like, when I was sent to a foreign country, whether it was Narnia, we were in New Zealand for 14 months. Dave Parker was there, I was there, Anthony Smedili was there. That costs a lot of money because we have to pay for that. Lord of the Rings, I was in New Zealand for months at a time. I was in Australia for a year. They're filming every single day. The studios have to pay for that, and they're like, why should we pay $1 million to send a crew of people to cover the making of these movies? How do we monetize that? And so we're not going to get, like, they'll send an EPK crew for a couple of days, but the studio's like, who cares? And I have to say, this is sacrilege for me to say this because I made a lot of money for 20 years documenting the making of movies. But all movies are made the same way. So once you've seen like 4 or 5 or 6 of your favorite making of documentaries, you don't need to see any more because they're all going to be the same. The process of making films is what it is. And now, yeah, you want to see your favorite actors behind the scenes and off the cuff and not in character and all that, which is fine. But how valuable is that really on physical media? And it turned out the consumer base just didn't care. I hate to say it, but they didn't. 80% of the people that bought physical media would buy a vanilla-only, no special features disc. Only 20% of consumers would buy special features, and of those, how many watch them? It's a hard pill to swallow. Because for me, it was very good to me for 20 years almost. I got to make, even this year, in the pandemic, I got to make special features for my movie, The Hills Run Red, that I produced, that Dave Parker directed. I took my own camera and shot 30 hours of behind-the-scenes footage and interviews and all that.
Even new stuff. You said you produced some new stuff.
Yeah, brand new. I made like 3 or 4 hours of brand new special features last year. So I made special features for 21 years. And did anyone watch them? Even when I put them up on my YouTube channel, which I've done. If you go to the Burnettwork YouTube channel, I did put a few special features from under the interview playlist section of like Bill Sadler. Not even 1,000 views.
Yeah.
So, what are you gonna do?
Okay.
By the way, we have super chats to read.
Oh, okay.
Willow sends in a tip and says, "Well, according to Doppelganger, it's not gay if it's with yourself. Is having sex with a clone gay or narcissism?" I would say it's both. Yeah. And that's what makes it awesome. Kevin Wellborn sends in a super chat and says, "Turkey Shoot is metal." Yes. If you haven't seen Turkey Shoot, or as we know it in the States, Escape 2000, it's fucking brutal. It's a great exploitation movie, a future dystopian film. I have it on DVD. I don't know if it's come out on Blu-ray, but it's pretty great. I
don't remember the title on Blu-ray, Rob.
Sends in a super chat and says, "Yeah, I have Metro last night, and I love it too. It's a great game series. Didn't know you were into games now, Dieter. Are you?"
Yeah, it's my second tier hobby. Okay, and I'm not in multiplayer stuff. I'm just single player for myself. Like I said, Captain Benzino, you wouldn't be watching me streaming a video live because you would be dozing off really fast.
I don't know. I think if you and I stream together, like Elizabeth and I, we're
be fun, Rob.
I think that could be some funny shit because our banter could be, delightful.
Yeah, totally.
Adam Steins says, "The greatest hot toy ever is the Alex Murphy, Rob. I have to say, I've got the RoboCop with the chair. I did not get the Alex Murphy figure. It's a 2-pack, Alex Murphy and the damaged RoboCop. That's something I definitely will eventually pick up because I really want that Alex Murphy figure." So, Adam,
how old is this figure, Rob? The RoboCop?
I want to say 4 or 5 years. They did a RoboCop. So I've got the Ed 209, and I have the die-cast metal RoboCop that came with his chair, his diagnostic chair that he sits in. But they did do a 2-pack later with Alex Murphy, the cop before he became RoboCop, in his police armor, and it comes with a battle-damaged RoboCop figure. It's amazing. I didn't get it, and that's something that I would like to get. Also sends in another chat and says, "Dieter, I love The Last of Us Part 1. I still play that game on my PS3.
Great.
That survival edition is a great find."
Thank you. I
know. When you meet her, I just want to go, and that could be weird construed as something. Anyway, Red Walrus TMNC52 sends in a super chat and says, "Do either of you own Shout Factory's Blu-ray of Phantom of the Paradise? Lots of extras, including a reunion of the actors, should be converted to Play. Maybe PlayStation. I don't, because I have a European...
Not.
Yeah, I don't either, but I have a European version of Phantom of the Paradise because it was one of those discs that you could get on Blu-ray in Europe before you could get it here. I don't have that Shout Factory disc. I probably should. Ziggy sends in a super chat and says, yes, Rob, I watched your Tron DVD special features. Good stuff. Still have the DVD. For those of you who don't know, I did direct and edit a feature-length documentary on the making of Tron that appears on both the 20th anniversary Blu-ray from 2002 and, the DVD from 2002 and the Blu-ray. So check it out.
Rob, who cares about Tron? Disney executive asked you, who cares about Tron? What are you talking about?
I know, right?
I want to do a making of.
Kelvin Wellborn. Kelvin says, Turkey Shoot came on a Blu-ray with the remake in 2015. I didn't even know they remade Turkey Shoot. What?
Okay.
Wait a minute. Let me just do a cursory glance on the internet. I didn't even know that there was a remake.
Under the same title?
This is news to me. Wow, dude. Severin put out Turkey. How did I not know this? There is a Blu-ray of Turkey Shoot. Severin put it out. It's
the remake too? Together in one?
I don't know. I'm looking at the Severin. Look, Severin Films is awesome. By the way, Santa Sangre, Alejandro Jodorowsky's came out this week in 4K. I have not received my copy yet, but you know what? Wow, I did not know this. I'm going to go to Amazon and look up Turkey Shoot. Let's see. Turkey Shoot. There it is. It's on, dude, it's on Prime Video, bruh. Turkey Shoot, aka Escape 2000. I'm looking for the Blu-ray. Let's see. It's streaming. Turkey Shoot Blu-ray on Amazon. It just says DVD, although it says multi-format.
So it could be. Could actually.
Maybe it does say DTS multi-format. It came out on 2015. Why don't I own this? And of course, Savage Streets come out. Oh man, see.
Down the rabbit hole again.
Yeah, well, there you go. So Kelvin, thank you for this. Now, Dieter, this is our perhaps longest episode. We're over 2 hours, dude.
And we still got one segment left, Rob. Rob, do you know this movie? The Loved Ones.
I have not seen it, no.
It's an Australian horror movie.
Oh, yeah. Yes, I've seen this movie.
Now the memory comes back, Rob.
Yes.
the memory.
I have seen this film. Yes. Now it all comes back.
Okay, Rob.
I love this movie. You know what?
Rob.
I did not recognize that cover is nothing like any cover we have in America. I am a big fan of this movie.
Yellow. Okay, you know that, Rob.
I just like the fact that Willow allowed me to have gay sex with myself, which I'm pretty excited about.
The Loved Ones. A little tip from
that movie's brutal too. Brutal.
Yeah. This was a great surprise. The Loved Ones. Glad you did know the movie. Finally.
Well, it's funny because the house and everything that happens in that house. I mean, it's, I love that.
I've seen
movie.
it in a long time.
Yeah, but that cover, I was like,
let me just check from when is this disc?
It has to be in the last 10 years.
Yeah, 2009.
Oh well, so 12 years ago. I didn't see it.
Almost still the beginning, I would say, of Blu-ray.
Yeah. No, The Loved Ones is great.
Yeah,
and it's great Australian exploitation.
Yes, correct.
Which I'm a fan of. So, should we wrap up our longest episode ever?
Ever. And from my perspective, one thing I forgot. that's why I was.
How about our
flipping
German
around.
lesson? Can't you teach us? We've had no German this episode. Do you have anything to tell us in German?
There's a saying, but I don't know how would I translate it. German saying would go, ein blindes Huhn findet auch mal ein Korn. A blind chicken sometimes finds a crane too. So considering my trashy...
Wait, hang on. A blind chicken sometimes finds what?
Finds a crane, a corn. I don't know the English language.
Something
to eat, yeah. And perhaps from my haul, me as a blind buyer, sometimes I find something that is that gives me nourishment.
Okay, first of all, the idea of a blind chicken finding something to eat might be the greatest thing you've ever brought to my attention as far as the German language is concerned. God love the Germans.
Ein blindes Huhn findet auch mal ein Korn, is German saying.
By the way, your mother, if she got this long through the show, she's smiling right now because I think this might be one of the great German sayings.
Probably did not make it this far.
Probably not, but
it's in English. I don't understand it.
Dieter's mom, you cooked up a good son there. Well done. And I think this German lesson, every time I see a chicken now, or every time I eat a chicken, I will wonder, was this chicken blind? And did it find the corn it wanted to find?
One thing I forgot at the beginning, Tim Hans asked in the live chat, are you party? He asked myself, Dieter, are you party of the Let's Get Physical Media Facebook group? No, Tim Hans, I am not. But I keep my eyes on everything that is happening in there. Because
why aren't you part of it, you poser? Jump on in.
Why I'm not on the physical media books page? You let me sign the contract. You own me. I can't do anything except for here. And Tim, if I would post everything I shown here, you would watch the show and go, seen it, move on, boring, already seen it. You know, like Leslie Nielsen, there's nothing else to see here. Move along. I want you to come to the show, Tim, so I can post anything. But I will keep my eyes on the shenanigans that are happening, considering Emma and everybody else.
Yeah, let's get back to Emma Bannon, man. Let's give Emma her props. You know, I mean, come on now. I know you feel that she's a rival for your... Look, my affections are equally distributed amongst all imagination connoisseurs. Despite the fact that I have great big love for Emma, doesn't mean I have less love for you, Dieter. Just so you know.
My parole officer will, after the show, ask me if you will see me next week again, or if this was the last time I would work in Hollywood ever again.
And let's face it, you are, in fact, working in Hollywood. So there you go. You know, maybe one day Emma Bannon will come on this show. Again, when people, when I used to want Willow Yang to come on the show, people were like, you know, Rob, you really shouldn't put that kind of pressure on people. They might not want to come on YouTube. And I never thought about that because who doesn't want to come on YouTube? But I would say, I think that Emma Bannon should come on the show and give you a virtual spanking because I think you'd enjoy it.
If Rob forgot it, on his website, Burnettwork, you can fill out a form for every of his shows if you want to come on, be it Lizard Views or be it Let's Get Physical Media. There's always this form you can fill out, and my manager of the B&B Motel will look over it if he says, this...
Gosh, do you know who wrote a really long form about why they should come on Lizard Views? Do you know who did that? You did that multiple times.
Yeah.
Like, even though you know people, you got like a direct conduit to somebody that could make your dreams happen.
No,
you still wrote a letter.
I will go the formal way, like we Germans do. We have to
fill
out our forms. You know, I can't just do a detour because, no, Rob, I don't need to fill out the form. No, it will have to be formal. Fill out the form if you want to be on a Lizard Views, and then we'll see if we could watch Bang Boom Bang together at one point.
We're going to do that. And that's a Steelbook, by the way.
Yes, from our favorite German company, Turbine. Your Hills Have Eyes probably will get to you next week.
Oh, that's good. Now, did you order the Emmanuel box set?
for you. And don't forget, Rob, it's only the first one it's in 4K, not the other ones. Only
Right.
the first one is in 4K.
It's too bad because Emmanuel 2 is the one that really gets me off.
Oh, okay.
So
okay.
just saying,
I don't
Emmanuel
know
3 is a
about
big disappointment.
I don't know about the other transfers or the transfers in general, but it looks very, very nice, the box.
Oh, yes. Got to have that. You know, as far as softcore pornography goes,
But
you
unfortunately,
know, I could rob one out to that.
Unfortunately, I couldn't send it directly to you. It will come to me, and I will get another package. I will wait for American Psycho, the 4K.
Yeah.
Which I couldn't.
Well, the
send
dogs
it to
are
you
almost out
directly.
of treats, man. So come on, hook it up.
Yeah. Right. So I will get another package to you and put on a nice T-shirt in it too for you.
All right. Thanks. That's great. And I will burn it with pleasure.
No.
Probably the police in Pasadena will come by and go, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm burning this Discovery T-shirt with the sweat
that's fine,
of
sir. That's fine, sir.
the
Move
sweat
along,
of the
nothing to
douchey
see
douche
here.
German." Right? Come on now.
Come on now.
Anyway, all right. Let's end this raucous show. This great Let's Get Physical Media. I want to thank, first of all, I want to thank my moderating staff, Mike Bodden and the Richard. I want to thank Joshua Levesque, who is here. Brian Hepburn is here. Justin Toner is here. Also, Justin has quite the collection of physical media. And Elizabeth has been in this chat the whole time, maybe. She's here too, so thank you, Elizabeth. Maybe I should make her a moderator. Can I do that? I mean, I don't even know. Wait, you know what I'm doing? I'm adding Elizabeth. Elizabeth Gwendolyn Bell is now a moderator for the Burnettwork. So there you go, babe.
Great.
You can now moderate conversations. There you go. So thank you all for being here. I want to thank everybody who supports the channel via Super Chats and Tips. Thank you so much. And if you want to write a letter to Dieter and I, you can go to the Burnettwork.net website and send us a letter. Please put in the subject heading, Let's Get Physical Media. And also, I would assume that if you're sending us a letter, we can read it. But just make sure that you put, yes, you can read this letter aloud. Because maybe you want to talk about your secret stash of, I don't know, musicals or something, and you're embarrassed about it. But if you want us to read the letter, just tell us we can. We don't want to embarrass you. And, of course, if you don't like Emma Bannon's jokes, don't write us a letter. Just tell her that her jokes are interminable. But sometimes they're not. And on that note, what do you think? Should we end the show?
One thing to say, Rob, you always have specific dates. And for me, I look back just at this moment in time, 4 years back, it was one saying, all right, Frankfurt, you wanted the best, you got the best, the hardest band in the world. Kiss, 4 years ago, I saw Kiss right at that hour, right at that minute in Frankfurt.
Wow.
And that is a date I remember somehow. And
as
that,
well you
I would
should,
say,
by God.
yeah. And please, people, after the show, my parole officer, aka the manager of the B&B Motel, will decide if you will see me next week or if it's back to the prison again.
The German prison? The German concentration camp? We're like, I don't know. This is like sketchy territory. If I say the wrong thing on YouTube, they'll demonetize my channel. But if you're going to go away, Dieter, if you're going to go away, you know who's going to be on the show next week instead of you?
Emma?
Yes. Fuck yeah, she is. Emma Bannon's coming on the show. I'll make her come on the show.
Okay.
And she's going to show her physical media collection. And I'm just saying that, like, if you two are going to go
I'm on thin ice. I know, Rob. I'm on
thin ice, man. You know what? I'm just saying, could happen. Could happen. Look at that. I love how you did. You really cover up that logo so it wouldn't be like what you were drinking?
Logo? No, that was strangely.
Oh, okay, there we go. This show, by the way, is not sponsored by Coca-Cola. But if it were, you know. All right. I'm just saying.
Nobody got offended from my shirt today. It's a little bit like Mortal Kombat Sub-Zero Scorpion. It's not a Mortal Kombat t-shirt, but for me it's an MK shirt.
Hey, you know what? You're not going to be here anyway next week. I'll be talking with Emma Bannon about how she's going to get me the Keep soundtrack on vinyl. But other than that, you know, if that's what you want to do, if you want to cede control of this show, I will have new artwork done. You know?
Easy peasy. I know, Rob. Easy peasy.
I mean, Emma
From
Bannon
serious.
knows how to reface everyone in video. I mean, I've seen it.
Yeah,
She's done it
I've
to
seen
me
it.
many times. I mean, she made herself look like Catherine Trammell in Basic Instinct. I'm all for that. And you know what? If you have to go away, if this is the last Let's Get Physical Media,
That's true, huh?
you know, maybe
The
it'll
last
come
two
back. I will say this, Dieter. I love you. I respect you. You're my friend. I don't want you to go back into the slammer. Don't go back to jail.
Let's see what my parole officer will say. And on that note,
Well, live long
jede,
and prosper.
jede Person, die du triffst, hat eine Geschichte zu erzählen, die du noch zu hören hast. Alles, was du tun musst, ist zuhören.
Fuck yeah.